I caught something really weird though when I
farted. No, I'm just kidding.
It's that damn Culver's, man.
No, that's it.
I know, but I mean, we're in Wisconsin.
This Culver's like at any time running through your blood. If we did all a piss test right now, we'd all pop hot for Culver's.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dan, that's Eddie, and we've got Christopher joining us today from the Two Guys Drinking Whiskey podcast. Later, his podcast partner Neil will also be joining us. This is the final four of the King of the Rye tournament. I guess we just got to kind of jump in.
Let's do it.
We'll start with A, get in on the nose.
That kicks.
I get a dry nose out of it for me.
A little Band-Aidy or something.
Like latex or something? Is that what you're talking? Like a artificial...
Yeah.
It's like you're blowing up the latex glove that has like the powder in it.
Dan and I have talked about latex in previous reviews. If you guys look back and watch, there could be some Willett here.
The nose gets bolder and bolder after.
It really does.
There's definitely like the... Not menthol, but it's... I'm assuming that it's going to make my mouth numb when I drink it. That's
sure.
what
like
I'm getting.
Above 100, you're thinking. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm getting a tinge of that licoricey kind of thing.
Not enough dill. Usually, Neil talks about a little bit about dill and stuff like that when it comes to Ryes, and that's kind of what I search for now. It's just kind of that flavor, and I'm not getting it on this one.
That, like, pickly kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We clink them and drink them, right? You
do.
Say it.
No, you said it, man. You got it.
All right, clink them and drink them.
I'm going to be willing to wager that we hit the nail on the head on this one. This is nearly certainly got to be Willett.
It's packing a punch, though.
It's definitely...
Like you said, like you're going to have that mouth-numbing thing.
Mm-hmm.
The tongue is tingling quite a bit here.
A little bit of cinnamon on the back end, and maybe almost like a roasted coffee or something, you know what I'm saying? Like up front, like as it slides back.
It gets dry.
It's very dry.
Yeah.
I get a lot of dryness out of it. I don't get a lot of it on the back end, but that's also my first drink.
Powerful, I would say. A little bit of that kind of licoricey thing coming through.
Yeah.
Not hefty, though, like some Ryes do.
The drying feeling just like seems to almost like sandpaper, like grind away at the middle of my tongue.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, it's just like abrasive in a way.
Yeah, it's lighting up my gums pretty good, too.
It definitely feels like it's a higher ABV than I think it should be drinking, if that makes sense. Feels like it's 60, but it's probably not.
You think it's punching above its weight class.
Yes, absolutely. And it might be the dryness or the lack of complexity to it. Because I'm not, like you said, I'm not getting a lot of the anise or the licorice, or I'm not getting, none of the menthol, the grassiness and stuff like that out of some other Ryes. It's good.
Should we let this breathe a bit and maybe move on to B and come back to this and do like some side by sides or something?
Yeah, maybe a little AB
will
help kind of like unlock a little bit of what's happening.
This is up my alley, so I like the high ABVs.
I like it.
Similar to you.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
I did a bit of like a tongue roll from the front of my tongue to the back, kind of like just kind of like a slurp more than a sip. There got to be a bit of some nuttiness, like a Jim Beam almost, but not quite. I
think that kind of plays to like that coffee thing you were talking about.
Yeah, like there's some sort of roasted element.
I think it's good, but I think there's something that I don't know if it's like a scotch where you need a drop of water to release it or not. Are you guys against that?
We haven't done any water dropping yet, but I mean we can.
Maybe after we do B, we can.
If you want to bring in some water drops, we can do the water drops.
Okay. Why don't we get a nose on B?
See, he did the earthy, bring it back down, arm smell.
Smell yourself.
That's what I'm talking. He knows of it.
Neil.
I smell like soap.
I smell like ass. No. Watching baseball games all day. Much more mellow and
this one I can get down with this.
It's inviting. Yeah,
it's
a little
sweet.
A little bit of fruit.
Absolutely. Not as much of a burn.
Maybe a touch of honeysuckle on the end.
Ooh.
Maybe over malted. I don't know. We'll see.
You got a fruit basket and there were some flowers stuck on it.
Yeah. I can get that.
The nose is more pleasant. I would.
Yeah, it doesn't have that like rubbery Band-Aid-ish kind of thing. Definitely more inviting. Lower proof, I'm assuming. By quite
it doesn't burn as much.
Ooh, it's coming through now. It smells like a scotch.
Really?
Some light scotch elements. So I have a theory that American Ryes are the America's answer to scotch.
Okay.
The higher the age of the rye gets, the more expensive it gets. The higher the age of the scotch gets, the more expensive it gets. process. Usually a single malt or a single grain type of thing. And I think that's in the future, 10 years and forward. I think Ryes are they're gonna hit it home with high price stuff. That secondary market bourbon, I think, always has the provenance and the history behind it there. But I think Ryes are gonna be the higher price stuff, and they already are. This one's got legs, quite a bit. It's oily, so I'm excited.
You can see them run.
You think this one's gonna like coat your mouth?
I think it's gonna be sweeter. I think it's gonna be a little bit more enjoyable for the average drinker.
Clank 'em and drink 'em.
Yeah, like you were saying. A lot sweeter.
Very smooth.
It's almost too smooth.
After going up against that, it's a definite.
They don't really pair well or match well.
No.
It's definitely oilier though. Like I get that. I get more of the rye out of it now that I go back and nose it.
Brought through a little bit of that like grassiness.
Okay.
Like, I'm getting kind of like an orange oil kind of thing or something.
Yeah, like squeezing the zest type of thing.
Yeah, like the oils.
Got it.
I like that you mentioned an oiliness because like that's something that we've kind of lacked in previous reviews is talking about like the texture of the liquid itself.
Sure.
A is so much more dry. It drinks like a dry white wine or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Whereas this one, there does kind of seem to be like some sort of texture to it.
Yeah.
This one I think is way more crushable.
I think even just visually looking at all our glasses right now, we've all drank more of B than we did of A. So
Right.
I think there's a higher drinkability happening. You know,
I'm just
taking bigger drinks.
I 100% agree. I just wish, not that we could have set it up differently, what this would have tasted like if it were
first
A.
Yeah.
Instead, because this is. It's harsh, but harsh in a good way, like rye should be. And I think there's certain ryes that are dry and just a good punch, and I enjoy that. But I also like, hey, I'm going to sit down and watch a movie with the kids, and this is something I can just sip on and just drink over long term, not have to think about what I'm drinking, but still very delicious.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, going back to the nose on A, I'm starting to like unlock like almost like a butterscotch note maybe.
Going back through on the noses on these and A being again, B is so like perfumey, like
floral, but it also has a little bit of honey now that I'm going back. This one is like latex butterscotch. This one is honey and floral, honey flowers.
I get some of the nuttiness now out of that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Coming back to it again and again and again, and it's definitely appealing.
A still is kicking though. Like A has like a punch.
Did we want to try giving A a drop of water?
I feel like we should. He wanted to bring water into the equation. I feel like
you want to hit me with some of your water there? Still dry, not much change.
Not a ton.
I'm afraid there's not enough oil, so it leads me to believe this isn't very old, so it's not bringing anything to the top. It's not super complex. Yeah.
It's just you're just damping down proof at that point, basically.
Yep.
Suppose we have to lock in ranking.
Let's do it.
I'm set. I don't know about you guys.
Yep.
I think I kind of established this early, and I'll establish it often. I prefer a crushable beverage. I want something that, like, you might as well just keep the drinks flowing. So for me, I think B is a far and away winner.
It's tough, but with Ryes, like I said, similar to Scotch, where I want to be able to drink it, enjoy it with friends, and not have to really think too much about what I'm drinking. Bourbons, I like a high proof bourbon. I want it to punch me in the face. I want it to be the Old Forester single barrel back there, and just like I want to see Neil Coffin all day long. The Ryes, on the other hand, no, I want it to be more like a Scotch. I want it to be a conversation piece. I want it to be something that's aged and enjoyable. I'm going with beef.
All right, I am going to stray from the pack here, actually. I'm picking A. While the nose is not great, I think just that punch and that flavor really just it's still sitting with me. Like that finish is still hanging out. Still like B quite a bit, but I'm just an A guy, I think. So we'll go first with the loser, Rare Breed Rye. Heavy hitter. It's 112.2 proof.
Makes sense.
I'd say even drinks a little hotter than that. You know. What's your winner today? One of the biggest underdogs in the whole tournament. The Emerald Giant.
Wow, really?
This thing has been a
Okay.
Wrecker of Worlds.
The lowest priced one in the entire tournament.
It's a cheap whiskey, but it holds up. So we've gone back and forth a lot with cheap whiskey, expensive whiskey. Go back to the cheap whiskey, it tastes like, you know, fake sugars, like stevia, or like it's just disgusting and just gets overpowered and it's whatever. But now going back to it in this glass right now after that pour, holds its own. I would go back to it time and time again. That would probably be my go-to house wine for rye.
Welcome back to the King of the Rye tournament.
You don't have to say welcome back.
Fine.
This is just a hard cut.
So do I say welcome, everyone?
And now for part 2.
No, you don't just say welcome. You just say, yeah.
Let's let Neil do it.
Time for the second
I feel like
battle.
Neil is more ready for it than I am.
I don't want to do it. It's your show.
No, you do it, man.
No, you do it. Like,
And now it's time for part 2
of
the King of the Rye Showdown semi-finale.
the final four.
The final 4.
The second battle.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thanks for staying.
Yeah. We appreciate you.
If you come and you stay, that's really nice.
Yeah. This is the other guy drinking whiskey of the two guys drinking whiskey, Neil. I actually listen to the podcast like every week when I'm uploading our videos because they're just about as long as it takes for me to upload a video with my slow internet connection.
Little background music, that's nice.
Yeah. So I just like chill.
Wait, hold on. I forgot something.
What?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Is he bringing us treats?
This is kind of our YouTube premiere.
Right.
And so I wanted to bring these out.
Okay.
These are official King of the Rye sommelier medallions.
Yeah.
Christopher, bring it in.
Sommeliers.
Bring it in.
Sommeliers.
Yep. So this is like officially, like, we're the real deal now. We didn't have to. We didn't pay for these, but
Is this is the year?
this is 2021 King of the
I
Rye
like this.
2021.
We're gonna have this hanging from the rafters here.
Look, we're nose
and
A.
A.
Time for the old sniff test. We do the side nose.
You're going double barrel.
Don't steal my shit.
Yeah, this is the Christopher.
Oh, really?
See, we do a podcast, so you can't see us doing all this goofy, dorky shit, but we like do the side nose.
Yeah.
Usually we have headphones on and like sunglasses and hats, like we're playing poker. So we get the ultimate like nosing experience, but now we're just. It smells great.
It really does.
This is pleasant. I already think I know what this one is. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
This is rich. This is
I'm detecting strawberry notes, and you know what that means.
This is sweet. I get a little bit of that berry.
a little,
Almost that elderly candy note that we may have discussed with Kira.
tip in your hat a little, yeah.
The candy that's never purchased, it just magically appears in the dish
Yeah,
when you get to a certain age.
I could see a little bit of that, a little cinnamony, that Wrigley's gum-ish kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah.
I know what this is.
It's good. It's refined. It's got some age to it. You can tell.
Yeah, very pleasant.
Probably 10 years.
Yeah.
Process of elimination, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in.
Yeah, for those of you just tuning in, if you haven't watched the playlist. Really good, though. I mean, just
I like
all
it.
around.
It's great.
Well-rounded nose. I'd say a more well-rounded nose than either of the first two.
All right, clink them and drink them, fuckers.
Okay, wait a minute. That hit me like differently than I expected. I was expecting the strawberry old folks like thing, and it wasn't there.
Now you're second
right
guessing
away.
yourself.
Now I got to think about.
You might have to
things.
turn your medallion around by the end of this.
You're not getting this medallion off. You can pry this medallion off my dead body.
Look at all those jewels on there.
There's cinnamon notes though.
Mm-hmm.
This is good, though. It tastes delicious.
It's good, juicy, a little sour.
I
Cinnamon.
like that sour note that you mentioned. Like I'm getting that.
Yeah.
I'm not getting like a dill rye note like what you kind of brought to the table on that like analogy. I like that, but like I'm not getting that out of this particular.
I'm not getting
whiskey.
that either. I'm getting just traditional rye notes off of it with a
But
little.
there's some fruitiness.
And
There's
there-
some tannins.
It's very tannic. I think there's a very. It's almost a little too woody for like a young rye.
some craftsmanship.
Some craftsmanship. Yes, it's been loved, and it's being loved right now as well. This is delicious.
But do you love it more than option B?
I don't know yet.
We
You
can sniff.
We can sniff
We
B.
can sniff.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna just admit that I don't know anything anymore.
Delicate.
Yeah, delicate is a good way to put that.
But
Yeah.
I'm getting some of those dill notes that you were kind of mentioning. It also burns pretty hard.
almost
too.
a little black peppery or something.
No, this thing's kicking though. This thing is.
It's kicking. It's not kicking for me at all. You ever made homemade Play-Doh as a kid?
Oh,
Like a bit of that saltiness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stop the show. Don't let him fucking talk about Play-Doh. He'll ruin all the whiskey for you.
Because it all smells like Play-Doh.
Damn it,
Shut him up now.
I haven't thought about Play-Doh for a minute. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been a while since Play-Doh has even, like, come across the old noggin.
Play-Doh was a point of contention in my house. I was not allowed to play with it very often because my dad was worried about carpets.
Like you grind the Play-Doh into the
My
carpet?
dad is kind of weird about like just sticky stuff in general. He's not into like doesn't like that. But like Play-Doh, we were not allowed to play with very often because he was worried about the mess.
You break out Play-Doh for special occasions.
Yeah,
all right, it's
it was
Christmas. Take the Play-Doh into the kitchen.
Yeah,
Dad, Play-Doh.
yeah. My mom's friend's kid, who's just a psycho, like to this day, but. Back then, I remember we were playing with Play-Doh, and we had all the different colors, and they were all fresh. And he made a sandwich, and it looked so much like a sandwich. Like he had the white bread with like the green and red, like looked like lettuce and tomatoes.
Okay.
I think he even put crust like around it with like a little, like it really looked like a sandwich. And I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool! You made a sandwich." He's like, "Yeah." Just takes a huge bite out of the fucker.
I can't believe that you brought up weird Play-Doh memories. Like, I don't know if I have actual Play-Doh memories. Do you have Play-Doh memories?
Oh, yeah. I had this device that you could put the Play-Doh into the press.
Oh, yeah.
Did it make the noises?
It made like a little fart noise, but it would squeeze out like
shapes.
Like
holy
shapes.
Shit! I'm getting Play-Doh memories all of a sudden.
You had that like fake ass like plastic knife, so you'd like cut stars out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, now I got some Play-Doh stars.
We had the barber's chair where you put the little guy in it and you twist it up and the hair grew out.
You cut his hair.
Oh, it's all coming back to me. You can make like Play-Doh like spaghetti noodles.
Yep.
Clink them and drink them. I'm still rattled. Like, this review is kind of like taken aback in a way when I'm thinking about like the Play-Doh press.
Sit right down, crank up the chair as Daddy grows his Play-Doh hair.
Like, the whole making of the Play-Doh noodles has really like thrown like a wrench in the operations. Like,
I'm sorry.
I don't think this is how he meant Play-Doh was going to ruin whiskey for us.
No, but like, I haven't thought about that shit in literally decades.
That being said, this is tasting much sweeter than I thought it was going to. I didn't get a lot of sweetness on the nose initially. It's kind of coming through a little sugary or something.
It's a little dingy on the end, a little musty.
Mm-hmm. Bit of drying elements at the tail end, I feel like.
As Christopher would say, this is drying.
It's getting there.
Yeah, it's a dry finish, which isn't such a bad thing. I think, especially with Ryes.
I feel like the finish is cinnamon.
Yeah.
There's some sweetness to it.
A sweet cinnamon, like candy, almost those like atomic fireballs or something like that.
It's got a grainy agricultural taste too.
Agricultural.
Yep. When it comes to like a good rye, this has got. It kind of hits everywhere you want it to. It's got everything you want in a what I would call a quality rye. It doesn't have like anything that's really off-putting. It's solid.
I'm gonna A
Get on
B.
board with that.
Yeah, I'm going back.
The nose of A, like, all of a sudden became a little bit more buttery.
Yeah, buttery, caramely.
Going back and forth, the sweetness of A is much more pleasant than the sweetness of B. The sweetness of B almost is getting to this cloying sweetness point.
Part of me wishes that these two weren't paired together.
All right, let's lock in the rankings. I think these are both worthy contenders and kind of play to two sides of the rye coin. This one had much more fruity, I'd say more balance, and for that reason I gotta go with A.
For me, I would say that B is very delicious. It's a traditional rye. It's got everything you're looking for. It's a little, I'd say a little younger, a little brighter, a little more in your face, like with pungency and just a little more like the rye grain spice kind of up in your business. As where the A is a little more aged, it's got more tannic, more woodiness, more sweetness. Like you can tell, it's just had a lot more love, and it's probably way more fucking expensive. So I'm gonna go with A.
I'm definitely going with A as well. Not saying B was bad.
No, if it fell on the other side of the tournament, may have made it to the finals as well. B was Willett.
Delicious.
Was good, 104.8 proof, but your winner, if you want to slam that down, MICHTER'S 10. This brings us to a very interesting final.
Those are the next two.
This is the final.
That's it.
Your final is the most expensive bottle versus the least
Literally
expensive
$100 less expensive.
Yeah.
Damn.
Tune in next week to see the final round between the underdog, Redwood Empire, Emerald Giant, versus your number one seed, even though like it wasn't number one because we randomized. But like honestly, everybody, when you saw the list, you thought number one seed, MICHTER'S 10th.
Big sexy.
If you haven't yet, hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, because we're here next week. You got to see the final. You want to know who gets crowned king in the King of the Rye 2021.
From the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bling, blang. I feel like next year we got to get these to be like on spinners. You know what I'm
Spinners?
saying? Like
I
we
spent
gotta
a lot of money on these, so don't talk shit.